That's okay. We'll give everyone a minute to start coming on. Let's get that buzz going, that vibration going. Hey Jade, how you going? Oh, here he is. A can of Coke, buddy. Hey, I told you you'd catch up with me soon enough. I hope you are both going very, very well. I went on yesterday, but you missed me, my friend. But that's okay. We had a good chat. We'll have another chat today. I hope life's been treating you guys okay. I hope you've been making an effort to take control of it in the most positive way you can for yourselves. But it's been a much better temperature day here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm going okay, Jade. Appreciate that. Oh, mate, things happen, life happens. You know, like that's why I can't commit to being on every day. I've got a family, I've got work, I've got all these other things. So I want to make myself here and available as regular as I can. But there's going to be the odd times like that I can't make it on through other commitments. It's the same as everyone, right? So I'm thinking myself that going forward, if I'm on a weekly basis 3 times, sometimes 4 times, I think that's probably where it's going to land. Hey, Amelia, how you going? I hope everything's been going well for you. Just been wanting to rub my big clear quartz crystal lately. It's a nice big point, this one, isn't it? Yeah. Love this stone. It's very nice. Yes. I'm going to take a different tact for you all today with what I talk about. And honestly, you 3 are regulars, so I'm just going to jump in, and whoever else comes on today, we'll decide whether they like what we're talking about. But I thought tonight I would have a chat about our basic attitudes, our attitude of ourselves and how we go forward into every day. I think starting the day is really important, to start the day in the right manner. You know, like the old adage of, you know, hopping out the right side of the bed. Hey, Vlogs, how you going? Separation Street. No, I haven't, mate. I haven't. I've been to many over the years, but I haven't been to any of late. You know, so you know, there's some good places. There's one out. I think it's Keysborough Way there on Springvale Road there in Keysborough. I think that's the one that's like a nursery and a crystal place there. I've forgotten the name of it. It eludes me. But that's massive. Got a big dinosaur out the front. It's a bit weird that they put that with crystals, but yeah, anyway, there's lots of good places in Melbourne to go check out the natural stones. Yes. So today I thought I would have, and for those who have not seen me before and have jumped on and haven't listened, I want to talk about our own personal attitude. Like, for those who haven't seen me before, and welcome to all the ones that are regularly jumping on my lives. I'm Craig. This is Craig's World Rocks. And hey, Sam, how you going? And, you know, this is my YouTube page where I talk about my opinion about life, how I see it, about trying to take control of our lives and understand that what we do on a daily basis, on a individual thought basis, from thought to thought to thought, actually does affect what goes on in our days. I'm a big believer that individuals all create what they put out. So if that is the case, let's try and be glass half full. Let's try and put forward as much positive as we can. We want to put out the most positive attitude that we can, because it's our own lives that we're creating, okay? So, all right, guys. attitude. I want to talk about attitude today. All right. Attitude is a very personal thing, right? We can get emotional about situations in our day-to-day lives. Hey, Money Mojo, how you going? Welcome. I hope everything's going well with you too. We can go forward in life, and our attitude is everything. Like, if you carry a positive attitude, if you want to really transform how your life is going to go on a moment-to-moment basis, it's your personal internal attitude. And I've touched on it with bits and pieces about having, yeah, that's the way it is. It's Freddie's talking about Nature's Workshop, I think. It's having an internal focus, right? The attitude towards you is where it begins. It's not about the things that happen around you and how you emotionally react. It's your attitude to taking control about how you act. So you can have many, many outcomes from a certain situation that happens in your life. There's a little dog. How you going, Bark? You can have a attitude or an emotional reaction to a situation that occurs in your life, and it can be purely emotional response. But a person has a choice, especially if they're going to emotionally respond in a negative way, to actually think before they respond and actually come forward with a more positive response around what's happened, because you have the choice to react the way that you think is the most positive for the outcome of your life and for that situation. The attitude of the individual often helps your reactions be much more positive. It starts with you. If you look in the mirror, and they call it mirror work, but when you look in the mirror, if you don't feel good about who you're looking at, if you don't feel good about yourself, that's something that you've got to work on. Now, if you want to improve your life and so on and so forth for the better, you've got to improve the beliefs that you have towards yourself, your attitude towards yourself. That's why on the start of all my talks, my live chats, I say to everyone, you're all perfect as you are. Like, unfortunately, the world that we live in at this stage is very much directing everyone to try and be someone that they're not. You've got to do this. You've got to look like this to be a good person and have friends. You've got to have this attitude. You've got to wear these clothes. You've got to wear this makeup. You cannot make your life better by trying to change yourself into someone that you are not. That doesn't work. That leads you down a path of disappointment and disconnection. All right? Disconnection in life is the biggest, most scary thing I think an individual can feel. Life's scary enough for a lot of us at times. We come into this world as a baby. People tell us all these crazy things about why we're here and what the hell we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to look and where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to eat and blah, blah, blah. But we don't really know anything. And these people don't really know anything, right? It's about us honestly having a good hard look at who we are. Now, no one can tell you categorically that you're here living this life because of da 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 da. No one knows what's right and what's wrong, right? The only thing that I can say to all of you that I've worked on, I've always looked for the answers to life. I've always been interested in that, is that I believe we've all chosen to come here and live this life. I believe we're a part of that. No one's made us appear. We've made that decision. Because I believe that and because I understand that, there must be a good reason why I wanted to live this life as Craig in this life. There must be a good reason. So I need to be the best version of myself I can be. That's the only answer I can give myself at this point. Do the best I can. There's no, that is very sad, and I'm sorry to hear that, Eneslin. Yeah, I mean, life can be extremely hard. My mother passed many years ago. I'll be really honest. She was taken out by a truck driver on the wrong side of the road. So, and it throws your whole life out of whack. Okay, no question at all. Loss with people that are close. Loss is the hardest thing we go through. But in time, I know everyone says this, but in time, you will reground, and the lessons that your dad has left you, you will be able to carry those things forward. You know, it's just, life's hard, right? No one can give you a categoric answer. That's why I do these lives, because I believe, look, I want to show my authentic self. I want to talk about the things that I understand, and maybe some of those ideas can help you guys in some small way. No one has the answers for everyone, right? I'm a big believer that we all basically should take what we like out of things that we hear and throw away what we don't like. Unknown lonely guy. I really bucketed that up, didn't I? I always discuss life, the universe, and everything, mate. It's, you know, heartfelt. I believe we're all in control of what's going on, even if it's unconscious. What we put out is what comes back, and I believe, you know, that's what I believe about life. I'm not a religious individual, but I'm a person that believes that, you know, we are part of the all that is. We're part of this planet. We're part of this universe. We're connected with the earth, and we're here living this life with everything else that exists here. So let's be the best version of ourselves we can be. That's when, I think when you connect more with who you are, when you have a good look at yourself and you go, you know what, I don't understand a lot about what it's all about, but hey, if I do the best I can with what I know, you can't do any more than that. It's like when we look back at what we've done in our lives, right? And some things we've had happen where they mightn't have been so great, right? And they seem negative at the time, especially when we're kids and we're adolescents and we don't know how to deal with situations that seem very negative. Loss being exactly one of those things. We bottle that stuff because we're creatures of change, right? Every moment of every day we are changing. We're getting older. So change exists. It's a constant thing in existence, right? Yeah. Well, there's lots of ways to look at it, and that's what I discussed when we're chatting away. I believe in the all that is. So I don't believe in a religious God sense, but God, Goddess, all that is. If you call energy and existence and our consciousness and awareness God, if that's what makes you comfortable, that's fine. But a lot of people, when we talk the word God, it does relate back to religious connotations. And I'm very much one of those. I'm a metaphysical thinking individual. So I believe I create my own reality. And I believe that we're a part of everything that exists. I believe life goes on forever. I believe you've already got the golden ticket. You don't have to do anything to become immortal. You are immortal. You're a perfect vibrational spark of existence, your own unique part of the all that is. Your consciousness, your particular spark, wants to understand yourself from many, many different perspectives and angles. And because of this, we create lifetimes that we exist in to learn and understand and grow and expand ourselves, right? So basically it is about giving yourself that reflection, okay? Have I seen aliens? Not personally, not like the actual beings. I've seen them on YouTube. I mean, haven't we all? I'm a big believer in other life, extraterrestrials. I think there's other races, other beings. I mean, I've seen lights in the sky and things that don't relate to planes and helicopters, and I've filmed them. I've posted a few things on my YouTube channel that I've seen at certain times. And when you're filming with your camera, it's never that great, but there are certain things that you can pick up within some of the things that I've filmed and you go, geez, you know, that's weird. So at the very least, you know, but I believe they've been here the whole time. I mean, when you look at the Egyptians, and I'm getting off track here of what I was going to talk about today, but that's okay. When you look at the hieroglyphs in the Egyptian culture, there's alien spaceships there, there's beings that look like different types of people. And right, they weren't creating or imagining these things. They were putting into the hieroglyphs what they saw. What's going to happen after we die? Look, I believe we live on. I think we do leave the physical body, and then our energy body heads back to where we came from, which, if you want to call that, I think that's more of our true home. I think this world that we're living in is actually a created simulation by ourselves as beings, where we can actually learn and experience a physical reality, but it's a changeable physical reality, right? And that's what makes it such a fantastic creation, that we can actually make a difference. We can change direction. I believe that we're all masters of manifestation. We don't have to create anything. We've already done the infinite pathways that are ahead of us at every point in time. We just have to choose the pathway that we prefer to go down. So the way to change and manifest a better reality for yourself is to look at yourself where you are, accept who you are, understand who you are. Understand yourself with all your warts and bells and whistles, everything that you've got going on, all the good stuff, bad stuff, in the neutral stuff. Once you understand who you are, then you can look at what you'd prefer to be doing, and then you start to bring those actions into place. When a person starts to do actions that align with what they want, so let's say you want to be more joy, more fun in your life, you start to do the things that you've always wanted to do that make you feel higher vibed, right? And then when you are doing that, consciously starting to do those things, you are sending a message to your subconscious mind that I want to create more of this, because the action creates the change in your world. Each person creates their own reality, right? Centigrade will change on me. The Greys are an interesting race of being. I am a believer that 99% of extraterrestrial races are here to help us. I see them as brothers and sisters, and they've been overseeing us for a long time. There are different agendas that some beings have had at different times, but I think where we are now, in the cycle of life and where we're going, I think there were Greys, there were certain beings that were doing things for their own objective at times many decades ago. But from what I can see and what I've heard and what I understand, all the ones that haven't had our best interest at heart as a human race have been moved aside, and the more higher vibrational, spiritual extraterrestrials that are here to help us have cleared that away so that we can eventually connect with them. I think that we're going to discover as a world very soon, it's going to be disclosed very soon, that this is all real, that the government has kept a lot of us hidden from the reality of life, that they've had contact with other beings and other worlds for a long time. There's a dark underbelly to what's been going on type thing. So the world, each person in this world deserves to know what is in reality and what exists, right? I mean, none of us really know everything about it. We know bits and pieces, we see things. I mean, Congress in America is been talking the last couple of years and having people come forward actually swearing on the Bible that they've experienced many things around extraterrestrials. Sneaky Fox, how you going? Welcome. So there's a lot more to come out in that space of extraterrestrials, right? Big time. So attitude, just knocked my stand there. That's all right. Attitude towards life. This is what I was wanting to talk about tonight. It's taking personal ownership of your own attitude. I think right now, because I'm getting this information, I feel it's coming from my own higher self. At the moment, focusing on ourselves and being observers of what's going on in the world is probably, thanks, man, down under. Appreciate you, mate. Yeah, look, that's just quick fire throwing things out there, mate. I mean, these lives are interesting. I've been doing them for a couple of months. So, I think it's the best way for people to connect with me authentically. Doing videos and posting them is all fine. But, I want to get to as many people get to listen to what I'm going on about. You can basically take what you like, chuck away what you don't like, because that's what life is. Life is about finding who you are and improving on where you are and learning to create a better reality for yourself and to help others around you by being the best example of being able to do that yourself, because you don't change the world around you by trying to force other people to do what you want. You change the world, I think, by being the best version of yourself you can be and being that example to others so they can be the best version of themselves that they can be. It's like the old story of, you get a little still pond and you drop a pebble into that pond. One person, the ripples just keep rippling out. One person can make a huge difference. Don't underestimate your own personal power in this world. Each of you can change yourself for the better and really start to understand who you are and show other people that they should be connecting with their unique selves, with their authentic you. Do the things that make you happiest, right? That's not difficult, right? Doesn't sound difficult at all. But if you're spending your life doing things that don't make you happy, you got to really question what the hell you're doing, because I believe in life, we come into this world with these passions and things that we're into, right? And as kids, you hear it in certain kids, right? Frogs can make a decent ripple, G-man. No question at all, mate. And if you get multiple frogs, you get multiple ripples, right? But if you don't take your own personal ownership and you don't start to take control of how you think and how you speak and how you act, how can you expect anything to go the direction that you want it to go in? Well, from Fry, thank you for making your comment. Very appreciated. I don't mind what we say in general, so long as we're reasonably respectful. But, when you test the water, right? Okay, so you've given yourself to that opinion or that belief in life, and that's fine, mate, right? I've got no dramas with that. Individuals can choose what sits with them the best. For me, I have proven to myself that I create the things that go on. So what I put out is what I get back. I believe I'm part of it all. I believe that Jesus Christ did exist, but he was here more of an example of who we could be. It wasn't about giving your power to that understanding. It was about him trying to show us that we're more than who we think we are as human beings. Not at all, mate. I mean, you could not find a more positive person than me in life. And Satan doesn't exist, right? What you're teaching is evil. Well, that's interesting that you say that, but I know all about religion, mate, and it's very controlling and very limiting, okay, from my perspective. And I have said to you that you can believe it, but I can also believe what I want to believe, right? And that's a freedom that everyone should be allowed to have. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of programming from religious types. And if you don't just want to listen and be involved in a positive way, Fry, you can move on, all right? Not a drama at all. This is my YouTube channel. So if you want to talk about Christ in your way, you can start your own YouTube channel. Pretty simple, right? All right, well, thanks very much for your opinion, Fry. So we're talking about attitude, We're talking about being the glass half full individual, right? If what we put out transforms our life for the better, we obviously should be putting out the most positive comments and attitudes that we possibly can, treating everyone the way that you want to be treated. Again, that's not a bad thing to do. That's being the best version of yourself you can be, being the authentic you. From my perspective, the one person that holds the truth about life, the universe, and everything is each individual. I think each of us hold the answers to why we have come to live this life. I think that's inside ourselves. And I think the more that we do things that we're passionate about, the more that we, in life, we do the things that make us happy, the more the connection between your heart and your head becomes clear, and that information can actually come from us to our conscious mind, so we can get a better connection about what it's all about. So I don't think the answers for life, the universe, and everything are out there. I think in this world, in society, we're very much heavily programmed with that's what you have to do. You have to choose a group to be spiritual, blah, 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 blah. Metaphysics tells us that it is about proving these things to yourself. It's about, that you have so much more control in your life than what others will say. And it is about proving these things to yourself. I've done many of these techniques and projections through my life since I first discovered an individual that told me about this was a positive way to look at life. It is about, you can prove these things to yourself, right? When you are your authentic self in life, you attract others that are also that way inclined, right? Your vibration will attract similar vibrations, right? If you're trying to control situations, you will meet other people that are trying to control situations. And it's interesting when you start to step back from what's going on, right? And you start to analyze and just take an overview of the people in your life and different things that are going on, how the way you see it can change. Because when you're in a situation, when you're emotionally invested in a dynamic, often we don't step back enough to actually analyze our own situation and how we're reacting to things and what's really important in this situation. And, sometimes we act from programming that has been all right. Thanks, Fry. Appreciate you, mate. Like I'll say to everyone here, at the end of the day, you can have your opinion, that's sweet, but if you're starting to force your thoughts onto everyone, I don't agree with that. So my YouTube channel is about everyone has freedom of chat, but let's be respectful. Let's not try to drive our own beliefs down everyone else's throat. That's not what I believe. You all have freedom of choice to come and go as you like, and that's how life should be. I mean, there's nothing that any of you have to do, in my opinion, in life to achieve being immortal and living forever. There's no special thing you have to do to enter the gates of heaven, because the gates of heaven are our existence. We exist. We're already immortal. We are living these lives to learn about ourselves, right? You don't have to do a particular thing to achieve immortality and blah, 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 like a lot of the other group religions are saying out there. You just have to believe in you and be the best version you can be. Trust that you're doing the best you can do in your life. Pat yourself on the back once in a while, right? I mean, if you don't, you're here living the life to the best of your ability. I want you all to thank yourself for being at this point right now, right? You've made it here. You are listening to Craig and he's chatting away on his YouTube channel, right, about how he sees life. But you've all come to this point. You have created your own reality to this point of now. You've changed and changed and changed and changed, and you've got to here. Thank yourself for it, right? Be appreciative of who you are and be thankful that you've done a great job, right? And once you accept yourself in the now and you really start to step back and have a look at how you act, have a look at the things that you say on a daily basis, right? No, I'm not a priest, man. Judge Dredd, love that movie, man. Character and so on. I'm a positive guy that talks about an attitude towards life that each individual has the right to understand that there are a lot of people like me out there that understand and believe that what we are putting out there to the world is creating the reflection of the world around us. So if you want to create a better world for yourself in your own world, you need to start paying attention to your thoughts, your words, and be the best version of yourself you can be. No religious connotations with that at all. Just be a good person. Treat everyone like they're your brothers and sisters and family, right? And treat everyone with respect. You know, it's just being authentic, right? And I appreciate that, amen, but I'm not a priest. But what I will say, Judge, is, you know, there's a lot of religious people that believe and they say, yes, I believe in, I'm just going to go down this path now. They believe in God and they believe in Jesus and they believe that Jesus died for their sins, and they say, Jesus is fantastic and he's up here. He's better than me, because when they accept from a religious perspective that they're a sinner, that he's so much more perfect than me, you are putting yourself down, that you are lesser than, right? You are giving your power to that individual. And that individual, Jesus himself, when he walked the earth, I believe very strongly that he did not want to become that individual. He wanted all of us to see that we could be more. We are more than what we see ourselves as. We are perfect beings, unbelievable level, and power's gone. And I've lost. I wonder if anyone can still hear me. My power has gone, but I still have my live. All right, let's hang on a sec. Oh, I'm still getting hearts here. Can't see myself, but power's gone out. Anyone throw a comment out? Can you still hear me? I can see hearts. Make comments. That's strange. My power's gone out in my house. So I'm in the dark, everyone. But look, it's attitude, right? Situations happen. Power goes out in your house. Appreciate you. You know, Thursday night in Melbourne, bang, something's happened outside. Power's gone out. But look, you know, it's your attitude to every situation. Glass half full, you know. Always, like I was saying, be the best version of you. This is a very unique live where Craig comes to you in the dark. Be the best version of yourself, right? I appreciate every single one of you for understanding that. Yeah, the power's gone out. We've gone dark. So, you know, you're going to have to, if you just want to hear me talking, I can keep talking. We can call it for the night. But yeah, the power's gone out in my area. So, yeah, it's spooky. Thank you, Money Mojo. Attitude, everyone. I want you to take from tonight. It's a short night tonight because obviously my power's just gone out. So I won't hold us up too much longer. You want me to keep going or whatever it is? No worries, mate. Might come back on. I mean, who knows? We need to keep the focus on us. All right. Hey, Clips, I'm working in the dark tonight. So, you know, if you want to believe if someone's committed to the cause of, you know, being the most positive person you can be, Craig's your man, mate. Like, we're working in the dark. The power's just gone out here. So it's a bit of a unique situation, but the regulars are calling for me to keep talking. So I will keep talking for a bit longer. Let's go forward over the next 24 hours, and let's really make an effort to focus on who we are, how we act, what we're saying, what we're thinking. Because everything that comes up, okay, that's why I can't hear you. So, I mean, see, thank you, Clips, because other people were saying they could hear me. This is really weird. But everyone, when you take that focus of really paying attention to your comments and your thoughts, right? Exer is that their comments and thoughts. That's when you get the best reflection of where you are now, right? And if you listen or you really hear the things that you say at different times, you'll realize that they're not all positive, right? Yeah, power's gone out, Clips. Yep. It has here for me, yes. That's how you start to transform yourself, right? Paying attention to what you're saying in different situations. So you reflect on the day, right? When you've said something that might not be so positive and you think about it later, you have an opportunity to analyze yourself and let go of that. Okay, I accept I spoke like that, but I'd like to speak this more positive way now. And you take control of changing your attitude. And you take control of changing your belief system, because many of those beliefs that are in you that actually have you respond to situations in multitudes of ways are programmed on you by many different people through your childhood, adolescenthood, and young adulthood, and even adulthood through, you going, well, if everyone else is thinking that's the way to go, I'll agree with that. But when you're younger, you just absorb all these weird beliefs from everyone around you and your family, so on and so forth. You might have some long distance auntie. Respect is a good place to start. Yes, it is. There is. You might have this auntie that was a bit of a racist, and she passed. You heard her as a little kid, listening to her say things that weren't so nice, and that got programmed into you. And then in certain situations, without you thinking, you might say something along those lines that isn't very nice. You have to choose, you have to see it and realize it and want to change it, right? I'm saying to all of you that you have the power to every night. Thank you, Dan Under. You have the power to change anything about yourself that you don't prefer anymore, right? You have the power to do that, everyone, right? Everything is changeable. And how do we know this? We remind ourselves by saying we're growing older. Every millisecond of every day, our bodies change and deteriorate in this world. It proves to us that this is a world of change. Now, how many people go, I don't like change. I'm happy where I am. I don't. But you are changing every moment of every day. If you embrace that aspect and you look at it from the positive side and say, okay, I am changing automatically. What more things do I want in my life that would make my life better? If I was doing this particular thing that I really love and I start to do that, that might help my subconscious start to create more of the higher vibrational things in my life that I'd love to have happening in my life. You have to start down the line of, my whole house has gone black down under. Okay. Live near Army Base Airport and International Space Transmitting Satellite Station. Light crafts are out every night. There you go. That's cool. No. That's very cool. Look, I get a lot of activity around the area I'm into, a lot of lights, different times. There's been a drone flying around over the last couple of weeks, which is not a normal type of craft, but the lights on it are really bright and multicolored, not like a normal plane. And I've watched that a few times doing laps of certain areas that I'm in, and there's nothing on the police radar. It's just like it doesn't exist, right? It must just be my area, Clips. It must just be someone might have, who knows? There might have been some type of accident or anything. You just never know, right? This is weird, guys. This is quite weird doing a live while it's dark. Lucky I don't have any problem with the dark. PS4, nice, mate. Nice. That's awesome. I'm going to disappoint you all now, guys, because I think this